your whole life watching movies, from the bad to the good to the best. Well, here comes a series from the U.S. that rivals all of the rest. From the humidity down in Alabama to the where is Wyoming, we got 50 films to show you. After that you might not feel a thing. It's the worst state of movies to make you sit down and think. And it's the worst state of movies that might even lead you to drink.
Hey everybody, Wildman Wes here, and welcome to yet again another edition of Worst State of Movies. Well, let's take the aeroplane to our next state. Arizona, home of the dry heat. Now, for the film today, we're gonna do a little prefacing on this. There have been a lot of characters that have inspired other movies with the term stoner film. In the 70s we had Cheech and Chong, in the 80s we had Bill and Ted. In the 90s we started getting into the View Askew era with Jay and Silent Bob. However, there was a duo, or at least one person in the early 90s that really got the term stoner slacker. And that man was Pauly Shore. And today, for Arizona, we are going to be talking about 1996's Biodome. So the movie is about two slackers who really aren't doing anything with their lives, and they act as if that they're wanting to be environmentalists and want to help the earth and help their girlfriends, but yet they find excuses to not do anything, especially on Earth Day. And while they're going out and about looking for trouble or looking for something to get in trouble with, they see a place that looks like a mall, but it turns out it is a structure where a group of scientists will spend an entire year locked inside, keeping some form of oxygen and pretty much being able to habitat in there safely for 365 days. The boys slip into the biodome, get locked in, and start causing chaos, doing some of the most outlandish things possible, sneaking into the beds of the female scientists, unleashing a bunch of hybrid insects that could go extinct at any moment, even to the point of sneaking into another room of the facility where there are biohazard containers that contain processed foods and cans of nitrous oxide, and oh boy, it gets to the point where the scientists have had enough. They send both the boys out into the quote-unquote desert of this biodome, where they start losing their minds. Their girlfriends have had enough of their antics, to the point where the boys decide they're going to throw a big party inside the biodome, where they get a bunch of people in there, and eventually they've had enough. The stasis of being able to habitat there drops down almost close to zero, where they have 14 days left to save it. While they save it, the head scientist there goes missing and decides he wants to blow the whole thing up and destroy everybody with it. So yeah, that's pretty much the ticket there. Eventually the boys and the scientists get the habitat of being able to live there 100% up to speed, and they thwart the main scientist's plans. They decide they don't want to do this anymore, they want to be with their girlfriends, and they live happily ever after, so we think. And the head scientist is running from the law, probably even now to this day. So that's pretty much Biodome in a dome shell. Oh man, being a dad has really messed up my humor, hasn't it? Okay, so talking about this film, yeah, there's some good things about it. I mean, granted, yes, there are people out there that probably don't care for Pauly Shore's films. Now, granted, I was a huge fan of Encino Man. I've seen movies of Jury Duty, Son-in-Law, even Biodome. There have been a few that I actually can manage. This one, it can be a little bit of a gut test. It can be. And a lot of it has to deal with a lot of the acting. Particularly Pauly Shore. And I'm not sitting here trying to dog him. A lot of it is Pauly Shore in the 90s definitely had what was considered a one-trick pony performance. His personality and his acting, everything he said was exactly the same in every movie. It was very carbon copied. And some people can find that amusing, others can find it a little bit off-putting. For me, it's a hit or a miss, and I think a lot of that has to deal with in movies where he was flying solo, it could get a little bit annoying at times. However, when there's that duo, in this case he was playing off Stephen Baldwin, it worked a little better because you had the energy of Pauly Shore being really, really high, and then Stephen Baldwin was a little under, but at the same time they worked off each other. And then you also talk about some of the other people in the cast, where you have Joey Lauren Adams as one of the girlfriends, Rose McGowan's in this film. We also have Kylie Minogue. William Atherton plays the head scientist. For those of you that might wonder if that name sounds familiar, it's Mayor Walter Peck from the Ghostbusters series. And like that, in this movie, this man has no, coconuts. Let's put it that way. Another fun fact about this movie, there is a cameo appearance by none other than Tenacious D playing some music for a gathering for a protest. And just like now, I mean, they are, Jack and Kyle, man, they're so great. Love them, love them, love them. And even if it's just for a brief moment, I enjoyed it. Now, for the story of this film, it did feel a little predictable. Then again, this is in the realm of what we were talking about, these stoner films. And a lot of times in these films, chaos ensues. And even though chaos ensues, there's always going to be a resolution, and the main characters always find a way to ride off into the sunset unscathed from everything, even if they almost get in complete and utter trouble. Okay, now it's time to put the final grade on this to see whether or not it is the worst movie of Arizona. Rewatchability. There is a lot of rewatchability on this one. This is one of those guilty pleasure movies where you can watch it, and yeah, can it be annoying at times? Yes. Can you make fun of it? Yes. But that's the beauty of a movie like this, because you actually can laugh at some of the jokes without groaning. And yeah, plus, Pauly Shore was a part of a lot of our childhoods. We had to laugh. We had to laugh at some of it. As we got older, maybe we sit here going, wow, were we that easily amused? But at the same time, you need a little bit of that nostalgia. In this world that we live in now with a lot of negativity, I myself included have had a lot of negativity in my life, and I've been learning to embrace a lot more positive. And as ironically I say that, watching a bunch of movies that I'm making fun of and talking about the negatives. However, I'm committed. So I'm going to bring a little positivity on this one. I would dare say that Biodome is not the worst movie made in Arizona. So, Biodome, you're safe. Well, we hope you enjoyed this review on Biodome. If you've seen this movie before, which I'm sure you have, especially if you're of my generation, leave a thumbs up. And if you don't agree with me, you can leave a thumbs down. If there's things that you really didn't like about the film, we do have a comment section. You can drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And I could probably agree with you on a lot of things because, hey, like I've mentioned before, not every movie is for everyone, even the bad ones. Other than that, make sure you share on social media, push that little red button, and ring that bell for instant notifications. Until then, I'm Wildman West, and we will see you next time on another episode of Worst State of Movies. Take care.